Hey, what's happening, family? It's your man Mark Black. You know what time it is. Welcome, all of you to Sucka-Free Saturday. First of all, before we even get started, I just want to thank everybody for taking their time. I know a lot of us, including myself, are stay in place right now, part of the lockdown, right? And so I'm grateful that you're taking the time to spend with me, to talk with me. Um, Trust me, I'm going to open up the lines today. You're going to get a chance to express your opinion, ask questions, the whole 9 yards. But I just wanted to thank you right off the bat for just taking the time on this fine Saturday that you could be spending doing anything else, and you're spending it with me. I'm beyond grateful. Um, First of all, fam, as per usual, if you haven't shared this one, smash the thumbs. Follow the little message on the top of the screen, right? You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Miss Denny, for that. I appreciate it.
For your efforts.
And as a reminder, per Miss Denny, if you think what I do is salient, it's worth worker worthy of his hire and all, hit the super chat or the other links in the description field of the video to support my work. I know money's tight, so there's no pressure, right? No stress. I'm gonna keep broadcasting, keep doing what I do, no matter who gives what. Just know that I'm grateful and it's appreciated. So before we get into the topic for today, which of course is the topic that's on everybody's lips, let me do my normal and shout out everybody. Darker Visions is in the house unavoidably these days, right? John Petty's in the house. Namaste to brother John. John's in the house. Since I'm here, is able to watch live, so they are in the house. Golden Heart is anticipating. Here it is, fam. Welcome to the broadcast. Engaging Black is otherwise disposed, but I'm certain will pop in. Welcome to the broadcast. Miss Denny, of course, is in the house. Sister Sylvia is in the house. Adrique is in the house. Sister Alexis, mwah, mwah. Sister Alexis is in the house. Fam, just like if you come over to my house, knock on the door and let me know you're here, right? You ain't got to participate in the chat or anything like that. But I love to shout you out. I love to thank you for your time, your support. So just make sure you let me know you're here. The beloved, inestimable Miss Kawami is in the house. Welcome to the broadcast. So, fam, the stimulus package has been the most discussed topic on social media other than Miss Rona, right? Other than the Rona, right? The stimulus package has been the singularly most discussed topic anywhere. As you all well know, before yesterday, before the House voted for and passed the Senate's plan, right? There was all sorts of different ideas out there, different takes. Some people said, hey, let's do 4,000, get some money out there, just slap everybody with a solid foe and call it good. Some was talking about $1,000 or $2,000 per month while we all are having to stay in place, this, that, and the third, right? You now also have Donald Trump talking about wanting to see the country, kind of get back on its feet, finding out who's immune and this, that, and the third, and reopening America for business. And so you got that fuckery. And trust me, fam, we'll discuss it because it is fuckery. It is fuckery on a scale I can't even begin to really truly get across to you. By the way, shout out to my brother Black Man 903. What it do, fam? What it do? JJ220100 is in the motherfucking house. So, fam, we're gonna talk about it today. First things first, let's discuss the whole piece with Donald Trump and some of the people that advise him trying to find ways to get us back in the swing of things, right? Get us back to work and all this and that and the third. Now, I need you to understand that there's a reason why this coronavirus is called a novel coronavirus. Engage It Black, my Cash App is, give me a second here. There you go. And thank you for that. The reason why this virus is called a novel virus is because it is completely new, family. There are other strains, other types of coronavirus out there. I want us to really start to understand at least some of the basics of the science behind this shit. Because truth be told, I'm seeing too many of you get caught up in these conspiracy theories about, it came out of a lab and Wuxi Pharmaceuticals in China or America. It doesn't matter where it came from, fam. That you can go down those rabbit holes all you want. And since you're sitting at home doing nothing for the most part, it's probably at least something to do. But none of that shit matters. What matters is that we have seen the release of a virus that we literally, zero human beings on the planet have any natural immunity to. This means, fam, that should you get exposed to the Rona, you have no way except to go through the illness that it will bring to build an immunity. Meaning, you get infected, you're going to get sick. Now, of course, some of us will get sicker than others. Some of us will have a mild case. And I'm going to go into what constitutes a mild case here shortly. And then some of us will experience much more severe symptoms. And of those that experience the severe symptoms, some of them will no longer be with us, fam. There is nobody immune to this shit right now. Nobody. Sister Alma's in the house, by the way. Hey, make sure you catch it on the re-up, sis. Salute, by the way, to my brother Al. I see you, fam. I was on Twitter, and this English man, I think he's of Indian, like dot, not feather descent, right? And he was talking about his struggle with the coronavirus because he tested positive and has experienced the coronavirus. He has what is considered to be a mild case of the infection. Fam, I'm not going to show you all the tweets and stuff like that. If you're not following me on Twitter, fuck you, because that's where you should be. That's where it all goes down, right? But this man described symptoms, fam, that if any one of you were experiencing it, you would think that you were sicker than you've ever been in your entire life. Imagine having a dry cough, trying to cough up what feels like something in your lungs, but not being able to. Nothing comes out. It is completely dry, non-productive cough. And you're coughing so hard and so long that at times you find yourself vomiting what you ate. You know how you cough too much? Like if you're choking on something and you throw up, you're going to be doing that. This is on top of a fever that spikes 99, 100, 101, 102, 103. The fever will spike, stay there, and then subside. This non-productive cough, fam, will be there, and it'll make your chest ache. You'll have a headache from the coughing. Some of you, if you cough hard enough, will burst blood vessels in your eyes. And then for a day or so, you'll feel better. You'll be like, okay, shit, I'm all right. I think I'm not coughing as much. My fever broke. Everything is all good. Then you go into the second wave. Fever spikes again. Coughs ramp up again. And again, non-productive coughs. You're trying to cough up what feels like in your lungs like a weight, like there's something in there, but it's not coming out. Meanwhile, your temperature's 102, 103, might even break 104. And you'll go through that for the next few days. And then the fever will break and it'll subside. The coughing will diminish some. And you're like, oh, Lord, I'm going through it. But I think I'm cool. So far, fam, we've only talked about a week of actual symptoms so far. Because then it ramps up again. And it does this over the next 11 to 19 days. What they have found is that people that are experiencing the fatalities are dying somewhere between the 14th and the 19th day. Because they've already gone through this cycle of fever, coughing, nausea, over and over and over. There's other diseases that we have out there that are like that. Malaria, for example. Malaria, you end up with muscle cramps and fatigue. And it comes and it wipes you out. Then it goes away. And you're thinking, oh, whoo, that was rough. Then it comes back again. And it does it to you again. And it does this over and over until it saps you, till you've got nothing left. Fam, what I just described to you, by the way, shout out to Sister Sandra. Welcome to the broadcast. What I just described to you, fam, was a mild case of the Rona. You don't have to take my word for it, though. The homie Scarface, Brother Brad, was talking to Willie D because he tested positive for the coronavirus, is going through this shit right now. Brad said that he'd never been sicker in his life. The man was talking to Scarface laying in bed and looked like he was about to fall over. Like, y'all know Scarface. Scarface ain't no little small ass, slight ass dude. But after going through a mild infection, he's not on no ventilator. He's not, in ICU. And let's hope that the brother don't end up there, right? So he's experiencing a mild infection of the Rona. And you could go over there and knock that brother over with a feather. I remember clearly Scarface telling us, fam, this is not no joke. This is not no joke. His words, fam, and my words to you. I know it seems like a bitch that they're telling you to stay in place. I know it seems like a bitch because you got to go to work. You got to feed your seeds. I get it. Trust me, I do. You know the old saying, when white folks catch a cold, black folks get pneumonia. Well, goddamn, white folks is getting the Rona. What do you think we gonna have to face? We out here making choices and playing games with our life at this particular point. You had whole groups of brothers who are trash men up in Pittsburgh who said they don't get the protective equipment they need. They don't get the support and assistance they need. They're not picking up shit. And you know what? I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Because, fam, by the way, shalom to my beloved sister August Dreams. Welcome to the broadcast. What y'all don't know is that what we're seeing right now are the infections, the initial infections. The people you see sick now have been infected for weeks already. And they've been out there, most of them asymptomatic, right? No symptoms, but spreading the shit. So there are people that are yet to actually start showing symptoms of this shit who are currently infected. But they talking about, let's open up the country by Easter. The fuck? Remember all those idiots on spring break down there in Miami? Yeah, they've returned home because they couldn't go back to college. Colleges were smart. They shut the fuck down. So them students went back to their small towns. And guess what? Now we're seeing small town outbreaks. So those rural areas are not immune. New York is a fucking disaster zone at this point. To all my family in New York, my heart's with you. Please stay safe. Because this shit is running rampant. But you got the president listening to motherfuckers talking about we need to find out who's, got it and recovered. Fam, do you know that just like the flu, you can get the flu and recover from the flu and still have knock-on effects, fatigue, right? Shortness of breath, and so on and so forth that lasts for months after your infection. You think you just recovered from the flu and you're going to get up and take your ass immediately back to work? Whether you immune or not, you can't call it. But this isn't the flu. This is a virus which none of us have immunity to. There's so many key things we don't know, fam, while they talking all this shit. We don't know how long someone is immune for after they've been infected. So what I'm talking about, fam, is you get the Rona. You start showing symptoms, your body fights it off, okay? So your immune system ramps up and you make it through. Thank goodness, right? You ain't dead, okay? We don't know how long, though, after your body has fighting it off that you will actually stay immune to the novel coronavirus. That's number one. Number two, we don't know if it's possible for someone to be reinfected with the same strain of the novel coronavirus. So we don't know that your body fights it off. You're thinking you're good. You go back out there and be re-exposed to it. And after a short period of time, you end up sick again. We don't know that. We don't know how long the antibodies last for, Adrique. Right now, we're only guessing. We don't know if it's similar to the flu. You get sick this season with the particular strain of flu that it kind of lasts you about a year or so. So we don't know the length of time. Here's the other kicker. What happens if we see another mutation in this particular strain of the novel coronavirus? We already have two strains out there, strain S and strain L. S is the one that initially started in Wuhan, in Hubei province. L is the one that's coming from Europe, the more virulent one, the more crazy one that everybody's getting. The more people are exposed to a virus, fam, it's evolution, whether you believe it or not. Science doesn't give a fuck about your beliefs. The more people that the virus can be exposed to and the more times it can replicate, fam, the more likely it is to develop mutations. Most of these mutations will be neutral or even deleterious to the virus, but it only takes one mutation that makes it better able to infect people, that makes it better able to get in you and stay in you for it to be all bets off. So they're asking you to basically bet your life on the American economy, on the almighty dollar. Your government has finally came out and said that some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice they're willing to make. To sacrifice you on the altar of mammon. Golden Heart, it's not the end of us. Not at all. It's not deadly enough to kill us all. And after a while, most of us will have either been infected with it, or through herd immunity, we'll be able to slow the spread of it so much that it's likely it'll be a very seasonal type of thing. But before that happens, fam, if we let these so-called leaders of ours have their way, there will be many millions of us in America. I'm not even talking about the whole rest of the world. Because understand, fam, this is a global pandemic. This is everywhere. There is no place that you can go except maybe for Antarctica and the Andamans. Shout out to the North Andamanese. I think them motherfuckers had the right idea. You run up on us, you get the arrow. I know it, Tiffany. No protections. No protections. And it's not like that the government mandated that these people started protecting people either. You know why? Because the government can't mandate shit at this point. So the Republicans and the Democrats for all these years have been telling you that government is not the fix. They can't help you. Then just like an ox whose jugular they cut, they made sure that when you need it the most, the government can't help you. This is why you got Cuomo begging Trump for vents. And Trump's like, I got 400 of them. But we got some more on the way. This is why everybody's saying, well, Trump has invoked the Defense Production Act, DPA, right? Which would, under law, allow the president to simply point at a company and say, I need you to build X and I need X number of X yesterday. And they have to do it. But this is why he hasn't ordered anybody to do it. Because he can't. We don't have the production capability. We farmed all that out to the motherfucking Chinese and the Malaysians and so on and so forth. Right on, globalism. We took good jobs and opportunities from Americans to stretch supply chains across the globe, even to nations that are antithetical to our interests. And now when we need that production capability, when we need to be able to have people get PPE, our frontline protectors, doctors, nurses, so on and so forth, janitors, trash people, maids, service workers, and so on and so forth, they can't get the fucking equipment they need. That's right, black man. That's the tribe that shot dude. Shout out to the Andamanese, the North Sentinelese. They got the right motherfucking idea. Sandra said it reminds me of when the World Trade Center fell on people's head. They let the white man tell them it's okay, everything under control. In 2000, lost their... Yep. And wait, Sandra, how many people ran up into that rubble? Now, shout out to the heroes of 9/11. Those people went in there and saved lives. No doubt. But how many of them people now are fucked up with mesothelioma and lung cancers and shit? And the government tried to tell them, oh, well, it couldn't have been from the motherfucking buildings. The government done lied to us so many times. And every single time, family, it's been to enrich the rich. Every single time, you can always trace the money. Matter of fact, fam, whenever the government opens its mouth and says something that it's going to do, the very first question out of all of our mouths as citizens should be the old Latin adage, cui bono. That literally means who benefits. Because you can guarantee that if you can't see any direct benefit to you and yours, somebody's getting a come up. It just ain't you. We need to be on these politicians' asses. And fam, I'm talking about like you've never done before. Like you've never done before. If you need to get in their face, if you need to go to the motherfucking governor's mansion and stand outside that motherfucker and threaten to cough on everybody out there until they hear what you got to say, we need to be in these politicians' ass right now. Because I'll tell you why. Right now in Mississippi, even though cities and counties are trying to initiate stay-in-place orders to try and protect people, even though everybody and their mama seems to violate them shits willy-nilly, the governor of Mississippi said, nah, business as usual. How many of your family members are you willing to bet on the Rona? Whose life in your house are you willing to say goodbye to? Because that's essentially what your government is trying to do. That's what the motherfucking politicians are trying to do. They basically trying to have you pick who it is that can die and say goodbye. Because if we don't get on top of this shit now, fam, the spike in infections and death that is coming is going to be catastrophic. Even with our current understanding of how the Rona operates, if we don't use social distancing and all the other shit that is required in order to slow the spread of this shit, we are going to see over the next year millions of deaths. Not tens of thousands. 9/11 won't be shit compared to Rona. Not tens of thousands, not hundreds of thousands, millions. Fam, that's not scaremongering. That's just basic math. If you understand exponential growth and the rate that this virus is spreading is exponential, that's why you see the curve doing this on every chart. When you look at it, even logarithmically, fam, when you look at even logarithmic charts, you're seeing a curve. And then when you take the charts and you flip them and you're looking at them on an exponential scale, this is what you're seeing. That, fam, that is not turning the corner. When you see this going up like this on a chart, this is not turning the corner. This isn't shit's getting better. You understand? This is shit getting worse. We have seen nowhere in the country where the curve has even started to do this, let alone this. But they're talking about opening up the fucking country again? That's a rise. That's an increase. Fam, I'm going to tell you something. You want to hear the really scary part? Right? Because a lot of y'all are fear-mongering, but you're fear-mongering over the wrong shit. You want to hear the really scary part? The really scary part is that we haven't actually been testing people. So we all thinking because ain't nobody coughing, because ain't nobody, sneezing or whatever, because we ain't got people around us with symptoms, we're all thinking that we're all straight. When in point of fact, many of us are infected right now. We just ain't been able to count you. We just have not been able to count you. Your man Mark Black right now could be infected. And because I haven't shown symptom the first, they won't even test me. And by the time they do test me, fam, how many people will I have had the chance to infect? With the incubation period of almost 2 weeks of no symptoms, but completely fucking infectious. That's the part that should really throw you for a loop. You sitting in the house right now, it's possible that a lot of the people you're sitting in there with might already be infected with this shit. But everybody trying to act brand new. Everybody trying to act like, oh, that nigga, that magic melanin. And I be taking my motherfucking black seed oil, nigga. And nah. We're trying to play games with something that doesn't give a fuck about the games we play. Just like our government is playing politics with something that doesn't care about politics. And you got religious leaders talking about it's hype. The government's trying to fear monger us. Keep your faith. What a friend we have in Jesus. And these motherfuckers is dying like flies. I'm not here to belittle nobody's religion or faith. Y'all know that, fam. But faith without doing some shit will, in this day, will actually get you dead. Have all the faith you want. Believe in whatever you need to get your ass through this shit. But be social distancing. Be doing what the fuck is required of you. Because it ain't, family, if nothing else should teach us as a tribe, because us first, right? So if nothing else should teach us as a tribe first, and Americans in general, and the whole damn world, the lesson that it ain't never been about you. Miss Rona just showed up on the scene to school us all. Do you know why your brother Mark Black is social distancing, fam? Because I already see myself as infected. So I'm social distancing to make sure I don't infect anybody else. But on the off chance that I might not be infected, I'm social distancing to make sure that I don't get infected. This shit ain't about you no more. It ain't never really been just about you. It's always been about us. But it's funny how we never see that shit until tragedy hits. You have a whole community of fucking people that don't even know who live next door to each other till a tornado come through and tear up the whole neighborhood. Now everybody wants to hug each other. Now everybody wants to get out there and find out who their neighbors are. You should have been doing that from jump, because it ain't just been about you. It's been about us. But you know what though, family? Hard head make for a soft ass, both for individuals as well as governments. So let's take a look at this stimulus package, right? Americans are in dire need right now. Many of us are sitting at home wondering where the fuck our money is coming from to pay the motherfucking bills, to pay rent. It's the 28th today. The 1st is just right around the corner. I don't know about you, but I haven't gotten any correspondence from my landlord saying, oh, you know, we understand the coronavirus thing. You know what? Take your time on paying the rent. We just want to make sure y'all safe. Stay in place. I ain't got nothing like that from my landlord, but they sure made sure to remind me that there's an online portal to pay my motherfucking rent. They sure reminded me, hey, you don't even have to leave your house to give us what you owe us. All this motherfucking hullabaloo about doing something for the American people, doing something for the American people. And guess what the hell they passed? Fam, they passed something that if you are an American right now and you're not madder than shit, you're dead from the neck up. Because your government just spat in your face. Before I get to the actual stimulus though, let's take a look at the pre-stimulus shit. Because everybody been so caught up on the stimulus, they forgot about the fact that the Fed's been operating in the repo market to the tune of trillions. That's right. Billions and billions a day, even before Corona came on the scene, and has basically opened up the motherfucking window. The spigot is wide open. 0% interest. If you want bread and you a bank, come and get it. The Fed has opened up the spigot, and the money is flowing fast and furious. Trillions of dollars. The Fed committed to doing $1 trillion a day if it need to keep the stock markets and shit in, going and fine federal, to keep the banking system from tumbling the fuck over like a goddamn. So before we even talk about this stimulus bill, right, the CARES Act, let's not forget that they made sure to let us know who was of importance, who was worth saving right from jump. Right when everything started to go sideways, who did the government run to for aid? To give aid to? They ran to the motherfucking corporations. $1 trillion a day. Promised. On deck, fam. No means testing. Right? They don't have to meet any particular requirements or adhere to any standards or have done this previously in order to. Nope. No means testing. No provisos. No fine print. Just aid. Fam, they don't even have to give up no motherfucking equity. Ain't that a bitch? Your government right now is going to saddle you and I with inflation that is coming. It's coming, fam. That inflation is coming, right? There's nothing for free. But they're going to saddle us with the hit, that inflation, to the tune of $1 trillion a day for companies that we don't even get a share in afterwards. So Boeing said, we need 50 billion. People said, well, shit, Boeing, we've been giving y'all money for government contracts and shit for 50, 60 years. Like, what the fuck? They started talking about maybe we should get some equity, some ownership of Boeing then. Boeing said, you know what? Fuck you. We ain't giving up no equity, but we still want that bread though. Go to show you how many of these corporations actually need this money, fam. Boeing just wanted it. They just came up with a number. Boeing just pulled a number out of their ass. They just said, what would be a good thing to ask the government for right now and all this shit, since the spigots is open? What about 50? 50 billion? That sound good? 50? Everybody who will want 50, say aye. All right. Oh, the ayes have it. That was what Boeing did. But then when we started talking about saying, well, hey, guess what? We should get a share in your prosperity, Boeing. We'll float you. But as you get your come up, so do the American people. Boeing was like, shit. Niggas, you crazy? No, I mean, we like money and all, but we don't need it that much. So basically, the Fed is just throwing money at corporations that really don't even motherfucking need it. But you and I, the government looked at you and I, said, check this out. We got a $25 money order that you bitches can split. We got baby powder. $1,200, fam. $1,200. $1,200. By the way, fam, not everybody get that. By the way, thank you so much, Sister Taj, for your support. I trust me, I know money tight. That 5 means everything to me, and I appreciate you.
Although we are behind the ball, we need to wring Congress phones off of the hook for revisions and keep their lines clogged.
Facts. Facts. Family, I'm of the mind at this point, if you have not decided to be an advocate, what the fuck are you waiting on? That's the only question I got at this point, right? After watching them hand trillions, literally, to corporations, taking no equity, nothing in return, just here, and then hand you a sop that, for most of us that actually do get it, will go immediately towards paying off landlords for rent. By the way, I live in Washington State. $1,200 rent up here. If you found a place you could rent for $1,200, you would think you was balling out of control. You'd be like, shit, I got the deal. My rent's only $1,200. Fam, I live in a 3-bedroom apartment, and it ain't even no bomb ass, like modern day, ultra modern, like laid to the gills with all the amenities apartment. It's just a regular ass thing built in the 70s ass apartment. I pay $1,900 a month for this motherfucker. That's just the rent. I also have to pay water, sewer, and garbage. I gotta pay lights. So just to maintain the roof is costing well over $2.5, $3. That's not getting into transportation needs. That powerful need that I have to eat sometime this motherfucking month. That ain't getting into none of that. That's just so I'm not sleeping outside with the motherfucking squirrels and shit. Now, I know I live in one of the most expensive areas in the country, right? And I know some of you, $1,200 might pay 1 month of rent. Shit, depending on how far out in the sticks and the boonies you are and what state you are, you might even be able to squeeze 2 months of rent out that bitch. But tell me, how is that stimulating the economy? It's not as if you're able to take that $1,200 and that's just disposable, right? It's not like you can take that $1,200 and say, okay, I need some more food, so I'm gonna go get some food, right? I need to go ahead and get some gas, so you're gonna go buy some gas, right? It's not like you can take that $1,200 and say, shit, we've been stuck up in this house for 2 weeks with no motherfucking TV. I'm going to go get a TV. No, you can't afford that shit. It's not like they throwing this bread at you and y'all straight already. So how the fuck is this stimulating the economy? And guess what, fam? For those that actually get it, it's once. One-time deal. One-time deal. Oh, they're talking about if we need to revisit it. Well, guess what? When you got the president talking about, okay, all right, we've stimulated enough. We need to get people back out into the workforce. Even if the governors come to him and say, well, wait a minute, Mr. President, it's still a goddamn epidemic out there. We want to keep the people in place. Well, the president will say some shit like, well, look, the experts say that everything is fine. So if you're keeping your people, locked up, don't expect the federal government to come in and help. So you think they'll ever get around to revisiting whether or not you should get an additional sum? Nope. That $1,200, fam, quiet as it's kept, is the one shot currently. Without us being advocates for each other, without us raising the motherfucking roof off this country, without us threatening basically revolt, that $1,200 is it for you if you get it. Because now I want to talk about, before I open up the lines, who don't get it. First of all, some of the students in your house don't get it. Because they means tested us, fam. They said that they're going to base your qualification for the stimulus check off of your 2018, 2019 taxes. So let's say you got a 17-year-old, grown 17-year-old, the motherfuckers eat. You still got to do laundry for them. They live up in your house. They going to school. They're going to use the same standard to determine whether or not they qualified for the child tax credit to count them as a dependent. And if your kid don't, then you don't get shit. And guess what? Your kid don't get shit. So you know that little $500 they're supposed to cut per dependent? Your kid don't get that. And they don't get their own check of $1,200 either. So they ass out. They're done. They get nada. Right? Shout out to my esteemed brother Double C. Shout out to brother LaShawn. And shout out to brother Rob. I see y'all, fam. Welcome to the broadcast. So that's one group of people that ain't getting shit. Of course, you know AOC is complaining about the fact that people without a social security number, you know, illegals, ain't getting a check. But who gives a fuck what she's talking about? AOC can bitch up a blue streak. I wouldn't give two mad fucks. But let's talk about a group of people that you will be surprised ain't gonna get no bread. Sister August just mentioned it. If you owe anything back child support wise, you can kiss that check goodbye, fam. If you thought that you might be able to use the stimulus to finally get a handle on shit, maybe, you know, parlay that somehow through some miracle when the economy is shut down, parlay that into something that'll allow you to get back up on, take care of your seeds. Nope. You didn't think they was gonna make it that easy for you, did you, bruh? You owe any back child support, that you ain't getting a check. That's facts. Because the amount that's required for the states to be able to submit an offset request with the IRS is way more than $1,200. So if you owe back child support, you owe more than $1,200. So you ain't getting that check. So everybody around you talking about, man, you need to take that check and start a business. What check? You ain't getting one, fam. The bill, the CARES Act, gave billions of more dollars to corporations for loans, grants, and so on and so forth. Notice, by the way, fam, that the congressional black caucuses, with all of their effort, couldn't even manage to get a carve out of even a dedicated 10 million. I mean, they throwing around billions up there on Capitol Hill at this point, right? To try to save the sinking ship, they are literally throwing around trillions of dollars. And you mean to tell me that the congressional black caucuses couldn't even carve out a few million specifically for black businesses? Specifically, I'm talking about not billions. Their political acumen, power, whatever you want to call it, wasn't even able to carve out specifically a few million. It's a spit in our face, fam. It's an absolute spit in our face. And now after this, they're gonna have the nerve to come back to us later and say, "Oh, okay, situation's under control." You remember Donald Trump as late as February was talking about, "Oh, this is gonna turn out to be nothing. We got it fully under control." Till that report came out from that scholar over in the UK, the Imperial Academy, said, "Wait a minute, hold on. What are you talking about under control? If you look at the current statistics, the current rate, we're talking about millions of deaths here. What is you talking about, Trump? What is you talking about, Boris Johnson?" Oh, then they started singing a different tune. Hell yeah, Miss Denny just brought up a really salient fact. Boris Johnson is positive for the motherfucking coronavirus. This shit is hitting everybody high and low. But the owner class is getting the hookup. It's socialism for them. We got to socialize the losses for the banks, the oligarchs, and privatize yet again the motherfucking failure for us. Tiffany said they thinning the herd. They trying. They trying. But if I start talking about solutions, if I start mentioning terms like guillotines, if I start mentioning maybe we should head toward Washington and have a conversation with these motherfuckers, then I'm advocating violence. Oh, you can't say that, Brother Black. They gonna come and lock your ass up. They are basically ordering you to gamble the lives of your families on a virus we don't have any type of cure for, any type of treatment for, that's killing young and old because they lied about that shit too. I told you, family, you need to be following me on Twitter because I be taking information that I get and I share it. Ask everybody. Ask Sister August. Ask Sister Taj. Ask Miss Denny. Ask these people that follow me on Twitter. I be sending information all the time. I've been retweeting stories of people who are in their 20s. One kid was 19 years old infected with the coronavirus. Guess where they are now? Dead. 19. As far as everybody know, this kid didn't have no underlying health conditions that made them susceptible to the coronavirus. But now they're not with us no more. People 31-year-old, 41-year-old, 22-year-old, 29-year-old. But they trying to tell us that it's just the old folks. Okay, so even if it was just our elders, look your elders, look at me, fam. Look at me. Look your elder in the eye right now, the elders that you have around you, and pick which one of them you want to die. Because that's what your motherfucking government is demanding that you do at this point. I got my mother-in-law here with me right now, and I love her to my last fucking breath. I don't want her to die. So guess what? I ain't picking nobody. If I pick anybody, I pick them. If them bastards think that this damn virus that we don't have no immunity for, no real vaccine for, no real treatments for is under control, then I want them to show and prove it to me. I want Donald Trump to show up at the biggest motherfucking cathedral in DC on Easter. I want them to reintroduce the kiss of peace. I want fucking communion wine and wafers to flow like water. And then I just want them to give us just 2 more weeks. Give us lazy fucking slackers, the ones who just want to shut down the government and draw checks. Give us just 2 more motherfucking weeks. They don't have the right to tell you to risk your family, to risk everything and give you nothing to shelter you from the risk. Family, I posit to you that if government is not here to do anything for you, then what the fuck do we need them for? Right? Like, you don't have to answer that question to me. But I really, really, really want you to think about that. Like, if we cannot count on them to do the basic shit, right? People come together in history to form governments, to take care of things that are part of the commonweal, right? What does this mean? Infrastructure, right? Governments maintain roads and schools and all sorts of other cool shit that we like, right? Stuff that we can't do individually by ourselves. All right? I get it. Our infrastructure is dilapidated. We got bridges collapsing all over the motherfucking place. We got roads that are filled with potholes. We got places where people can't even get clean water. So they're not doing that. The government is supposed to be here for our common defense and protection. Well, they're the ones putting us at risk. So we don't have that. And when the waves come, when the struggles come that affect us all, regardless of class, regardless of race, regardless of everything, the government is supposed to be there to help us to be able to make it through those shocks, to be able to ride the wave rather than being swamped by it. But they're not even doing that. So if they're not doing any of that, then what the fuck do we need them for? What the hell do we need them for? So many people won't even see a penny of this stimulus package. So there will be no stimulus coming from them. And of those of us that receive it, the amount that we're receiving is so little. The only thing it can stimulate is our landlords and our people who hold our car notes into masturbating with joy that they're getting paid this month. This is a joke. They passed a $6 trillion joke. But you know what I always say, fam? He who laughs last, laughs best. They want you stressed out. They want you worrying. They want you scared. They want you to pick which family member is expendable. I want you to take that same fear, worry, doubt, and I want you to make them feel it. I don't care how you do it. I don't care who you call and how many times you call. They should get sick of hearing from you at this point. They should get sick of seeing you. Make them feel what we're feeling. Because at this point, fam, that's the only thing I believe that's actually going to give us a shot as a collective of making it through this shit. And to our tribe specifically, understand, if you haven't already, we don't have no friends. None. Not in government, not in the greater society at large, nowhere. In New York City, people have started calling some Asian people names because, the China virus or the Wuhan virus, some people call it this, that, and the third, and people are throwing shade at them and this, that, and the third. Ain't nobody getting lynched. Ain't nobody getting killed as far as I'm aware. But it's some name calling, some hazing, right? And it's bullshit. Motherfucking Attorney General of New York City opens up a hotline to report those incidents to ensure they get prosecution. Meanwhile, ain't that the same city where Pantaleo was able to choke a brother out who didn't do jack shit except stand there, kill him on video in front of his family, and there was nobody that we could call? You know, the same New York that randomly guns down black people that look like you and me. There ain't no hotline that we can call. There's no number we can pick up the phone and expect to hear somebody eager to get justice for us on the other end. We get gunned down and nothing happens. They get talked about and they get a hotline. Fam, we got no fucking friends. None. Akai Gurley gets shot in his damn stairwell of his apartment complex by Peter Liang. These same individuals who now have a hotline for their protection was out there marching in protest. But they wasn't protesting what happened to our brother Akai. They was out there protesting what was happening to Peter Liang. Excuse me if I think at this particular point they can hold their own nuts. They can murder us with impunity. Ain't no hotline. Ain't nobody eager to hear so that they can provide us justice. We ain't always putting down New York. But hell, you say we're putting down New York, Sandra. New York is putting down its damn self. The Jews in Brooklyn can run welfare schemes and use bodegas and corner stores as fucking fronts for criminal activity. And nobody says shit. But it's okay for them to go in and sweep up corner boys. It ain't a put down as if it's the truth. And it ain't just New York. It ain't just New York, fam. It's everywhere. You've had activists after activists trying to tell you that, hey, fam, we gotta come together. We gotta start working for each other's interests because nobody else will. And we tell them, man, y'all on this bullshit and that bullshit. Okay. So then when situations like this happen and everybody in the nation is affected, we got no advocacy. We got no voices at the motherfucking table. We got no friends. Fam, there's an old saying. Never, ever, ever push people to the point where they ain't got nothing to lose. We there yet? I don't know. What y'all think? 425-296-1980 is the number. What you think? We there yet? We at the point where we ain't got nothing to lose. You got, Rock Nation Brunch Twitter talking about taking your 1200 and getting off the plantation. Right? The whole economy shut down, but you're supposed to start a business right now. Make that shit make sense. That is assuming you're one of the few lucky people that actually get one. That actually get one of these stimulus checks. I don't know. Since I'm here, I don't think it hurts enough yet. I'm with you. I think for all the fuckery that we know we're facing, I don't think it hurts enough yet. Our strength as a people is also one of our weaknesses. Our strength as Americans, as a people in America, is that we have put up with a ton of shit. This country has tried its level best to kill us, and we still here. That's our strength. Every little black kid is born is living evidence of the tenacity, the resilience of our people. But that's also one of our greatest weaknesses, is that we put up with a lot of shit. Right? Like, damn. I'm telling you straight up, fam. Have we had enough yet? It's a damn good question, one that begs an answer. 425-296-1980. What do y'all think about this stimulus? Are you one of the people that is actually going to get access to the stimulus? Call in and let us know how it's going to stimulate you. Like, how is it going to help you? Right? Are you one of the people that don't qualify for it? Right? Like a brother who might owe, or a sister who might owe back child support, right? Or, didn't have any taxable income. Tell me what your concerns are. Are you worried? Are you mad? Right? This is your time to express what you need to express, to get it off your chest so we can move forward with some action. By the way, I want to shout out Sister Adrian. I want to shout out Monty. I see you, fam. Welcome to the broadcast. Damn, Sandra, that's messed up. Sandra says, I know I'm not going to get the stimulus. I'm still working. That's messed up. The stimulus should have been for us all. No means testing. They didn't means test the corporations. Fam, let me share a little bit of news with you. United Airlines, just after the Congress passed legislation that will give the airlines billions of dollars, and I mean an ungodly amount of billions, United said, yeah, we appreciate it. That's cool. But that's only going to allow us to keep staff around till, say, September, and after that, fuck you. So they're going to get billions, and they're not even required to maintain employees. They're going to get billions. No questions asked. No means testing, right? Nobody's requiring anything of them. Y'all don't have nothing to say about that? Adrian said, yep, most of that stimulus is going into somebody's pocket. It wasn't for us. Watch, you'll see a whole bunch of stealing going on in the background. Hell, you know what, Adrian, they've gotten so bold with it, they're not even bothering to hide the stealing. Remember Feinstein? Remember, who was that, the Republican on the intelligence committee that heard the coronavirus briefings? And it was like 4 or 5 senators who was sitting in on the meeting, who then went out and made stock trades. They sold off a bunch of shares of stock. Thank you, boy. There was a whole bunch of folk. And the crazy part is that the media found out about it. And they squawked for about 2 minutes, and we ain't heard shit since. But we could talk about the politicians. What about all the CEOs over the last 3-4 months? Like 200 major companies on the planet has CEOs that were leading the helm step down. And collectively amongst them, they've sold off billions of dollars of shares of stock. Jeff Bezos sold $3.2 billion worth of stock. But he wants to do a GoFundMe to help out Amazon employees. Ain't that a bitch? Fam, it's like the oligarchs and the politicians are spitting in our face. We got brothers and sisters out there that are essential to the running of this country with no protection. We got nurses and doctors on the front lines of this thing who are at the point of collapse. One sister who was a nurse had some pre-existing conditions because she was treated for cancer before, so she's immunosuppressed. And when she refused to go work on the COVID-19 wing of the hospital, they fired her. They basically are telling our frontline responders, nurses, EMTs, doctors, to not expect anything but to get it. They are telling them openly, expect to get COVID-19. How is that supposed to inspire somebody to go to work to try to save your and my life? I mean, doctors and nurses, most of them are driven by some pretty noble shit. And they're heroes. Hats off to them. But hats off to all those people in the grocery store who keep the doors open so that we can go there and pick up a few things instead of being afraid that we're going to be stuck in our house with no food. Shout out to them. Who have to go around and clean up that nasty store when people are going around spitting on produce and licking on containers and shit. Them is unsung heroes, essential workers. See, fam, what I like about this whole damn thing is that this actually showed all of us who really is essential, who really keeps the economy going, and who's just free riding. Your finance people, your tech people, the politicians, they the free riders. Your truck drivers, your janitors, your trash men, your cashiers. Them's the unsung heroes. Them's the ones that's keeping the whole damn thing going. Four two five 296 1980, fam. Express your opinion. Don't make me big. This ain't just my show. This is y'all's broadcast too. Yeah, you got people running around having coronavirus parties, licking on toilets and shit. And you got people that got to go in there and clean that up. What? Please. I'm sorry, fam. They don't pay enough. If you a cashier and you making $15 an hour, I don't think you getting paid enough. Not for what you facing. Everybody standing in line, even with social distancing, they still got to stand in front of you. And all it takes is one cough. They're not paying you enough. Family, I think that we, the citizens, need to be having some conversations among ourselves about how we can use this change, because people are talking about a reset, and I think they're right. At the end of the day, ultimately, everything is going to change. Rona changes everything. Just like the Spanish influenza did in 1918, just like pandemics across the globe have always changed shit, we're no different. Rona is our generation's change. This is the one time, fam, that we get an actual say in the world that comes next. We need to be having those conversations now about the real role of labor in this country, about the real need to restore manufacturing capability and to shorten supply chains so we don't have to depend on China or anybody else to get us key essentials we need for the health, care, and welfare of our citizens. Why should you have to trust Jack Ma, right? The billionaire that owns Alibaba, to ship masks over from China? We couldn't even trust China to tell the truth about the outbreak in the first place. But we supposed to trust them to give us protective equipment? What better way to make the whole damn nation sick? It's not as if colonialists and imperialists have never given out disease-laden blankets before. I'm just saying. We need to be having some real conversations, all of us. And one big conversation that I think we need to be having is I don't want to hear from no motherfucking body else that reparations, restoration, remediation, and repair of the descendants of the enslaved ones in the United States is something that cannot be done. I don't want to hear that. You cannot even say that to me without me cussing you out. Because we just watched the United States government pull literal trillions out of its ass in a matter of weeks. There was no commissions needed. There was no reports that needed to be made. There was no special prosecutors and all this other shit. Nope, they said, we needs that. Done. Trillions. I'm not talking about just a few $1 billion, fam. I'm not talking about somebody was able to include on a bill some pork that got a new aircraft carrier station at a port in their district. No, fam. Trillions. And it wasn't earned. They tell us we lazy. We just want to mooch off the government. Well, guess what? In the era of the Rona, everybody's got to eat off the government. Everybody. Corporations, citizens, everybody. So what make them motherfuckers any different than us? Matter of fact, they eating off of my stolen inheritance. Again, fam, how you black and you ain't mad? I can't fathom it. And I don't mean that mad that got you sitting there grumbling about it. No, I mean that mad that got you mad enough to want to do something about it. Caller from 919, it's your man Mark Black. What's your name, where you calling from, and what's on your mind?
Yeah, this is Tasha again. I'm calling from the RTP area, Research Triangle area
Yes, ma'am. How are
of
you,
Durham, South
sister?
Carolina. Yeah, so, in addition to calling Congress regarding the stimulus bill, I think we also need to go out to these black businesses. Long story short, when we first started doing our town hall, our first town hall, we did canvass a number of barbershops and hair salons. And the strange thing is that when I talked about us doing our first town hall on the Black Wealth Gap, the more proactive barbershop was actually the ones that have been run by the older men.
Yeah.
And maybe one salon, but when it came to the barbershops being managed by the younger cohort, it seemed like, the main thing that they were concerned about was just bringing revenue in. I think they may have, felt that it's important, but I don't think, they understood the importance in that. And, I think we should definitely use this as an opportunity to bring these black businesses in, because a lot of them, or some of them, they, even though they may struggle, from month to month, especially with getting access to capital,
right?
It's like they don't understand, the true importance until they see that, you get a crisis like the coronavirus, and, the business or the model of the business is no longer working. And, this is a time period to where, we need to bring people up to par with more of a moral conscience.
Yeah.
Because, everything, when you look at the homeless and you look at other people's living on the margins, a lot of these governors and these municipalities would neglect them, but it's like all of a sudden they got to do something, because if they don't, then the coronavirus will spread worse if these people are not, if they're not housed in some sort of way and given, proper materials to wash hands, rely on sanitary conditions. So, my thing is that we definitely need to stay focused. We need to call these Congress people. We need to get their phones ringing, and we need to keep them ringing.
Yep.
And we need to hold their feet to the fire, because if we don't hold their feet to the fire, then, they're just going to feel entitled to get anything that they want on their behalf, as well as the corporations that they, work on behalf. And, there's not going to be much opportunity for us to, at least, right now we're beyond needing to put a line of sand. We almost need to start digging some trench and some hard cement. That's where we are right now. And also, lastly, before I go, I do want to mention, the issue with the OPT and H-1B and outsourcing of jobs.
Yep.
Now these businesses see, the results of their short-sightedness, putting manufacturing overseas. And what's ironic, it is, China, and that's responsible for the release of this virus. And if you look at the context or the situation regarding the release, a lot of it goes back to these wet markets where they try to sell meat as soon as it's slaughtered, and it's done in unsanitary conditions.
Oh, yes.
And and a lot of them, they say, well, it's a virus associated with bats, but sometimes it jumps to intermediate species before it hits humans. So on one hand, you got China, which is responsible for the release of the virus, but all our manufacturing is in their vicinity. But now you got in India, where they're quarantining and isolating people under some of the least unsanitary conditions. So we don't know how worse, the spread is going to be.
Facts.
So this is the time period to where we need to start holding our politicians and representatives' feet to the fire.
Yep.
And,
I hear you. I hear you.
Because this is the worst of the worst. And if they're not held to the fire, there's no telling what they'll try to get away with next.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I have to say.
I appreciate you, sister. All of it spot on. Thank you so much for your contribution tonight. Appreciate you. Yeah, fam. The crazy part is that you are literally seeing the entire globe face something that changes everything, right? All the most diehard nations that were on board with, globalization and, open borders and all of that, that's done, at least in the short term anyway, right? Like, that's finished. And that, family, is a good thing. Let me tell you something about America. You know what's really going to bake your noodle is that America is the only country on the planet that is actually the least involved in economics. Don't get me wrong, finance has its home here. Okay? We're talking, Wall Street, New York, so on and so forth. Finance has its home here. But everybody on the planet since World War II have been able to go anywhere they want to go, get access to raw resources, take the resources back to their nation, develop them into products, and export them. Because America's Navy has been the protector of the whole damn globe. Ain't nobody talking about that. And we were doing it because we were all, gung-ho against the Reds, the communists over in Soviet Union. But when the wall fell and the Soviet Union was no more, it's not like America went in and said, okay, we good now. Everybody's straight. Go for broke. Do your own thing. We still kept doing it. We've been financing everybody's protection, making sure that the seas lanes are open and that trade is open all around the motherfucking world. But that's been coming at a cost to you and I. That's been coming at a cost to our infrastructure, a cost to our ability to be able to educate our children and our citizenry, the cost of being able to have adequate, decent health care for everybody that's in our country, and so on and so forth. I'm sorry, but it's time to rewrite the rules. I didn't sign up to be a protector of a world that wants to pass on the worst filth, the worst diseases, having wet markets where they trying to get the freshest meat. Who the fuck eats a pangolin? Do you even know what a pangolin is? I'm not trying to knock nobody's culture, but do you know what a pangolin is? It's basically like an armored anteater. Who eats those? How many of you even know what a pangolin is? Yet they have entire markets in China where they got them, various types of snakes, monkeys, all sorts of crazy shit to eat with no regulation. Just a home for zoonotic viruses to just catch on and spread and mutate and do different shit. This ain't throwing shade at China because they, evil, horrible people. But when you operating on a world stage and a world scene, there's certain shit you gotta do and certain shit you gotta give up. We've been protecting everybody for decades. And what do we get to show for it? Man, it's time to change the game up for real. The whole world want to act like America. It used to be we could go places and be treated like decent. Caller from 413, it's your man Mark Black. What's your name, where you calling from, and what's on your mind?
Hey, Mark, it's Double C.
Cease, what's good, fam? Holla at me, man. What you think about all this shit? I know you got something to say.
Well, I said it on Twitter yesterday when about the stimulus package and how the people that owe back child support wasn't going to get it. And I'm like, yep, you try and come up, they won't let you come up. But my thing was, and I think I said on Twitter, it's a credit. We will have to pay this back, and whoever pays taxes is going to have to pay that back because they already bailed the big banks out. See, that money wasn't for us. They were trying to do it where the big banks got bailed out first.
Yep, they got bailed out first.
Yeah, so that's why they were stalling. That's what they were stalling for. That $1,200 thing, it's kind of an insult. Because in Canada, they could get $2,000 a month for 4 months with free health care.
Absolutely. In China, the place everybody's decrying, Xi Jinping right now and the CCP are talking about a $7 trillion stimulus package for the people. Now, I'm not saying that China is the greatest government on the planet. I'm not caping for the CCP and all that other bullshit before people start tripping. But what I'm saying is that America, our politicians are basically spitting our motherfucking face. That's real talk. That's real talk. See, that shit is not even an insult. Okay, an insult would be if they gave it to, gave us some aid, but then threw shade at us. Like, okay, well, we think you're overblowing it, Americans, but we understand your fears and concerns. So here's some assistance, right? That's an insult. Nah, we don't want to call this what it is. What this was a call out. You know how you be in the hood, sees, and a cat call you out? Like he says something that he know that if you don't fucking respond to, it basically make you a bitch.
Basically, yeah.
Right? That's what this is, fam. That's what our government just did to us. Our government called us out. They said to us basically with this CARES Act that y'all can either take this and shut the fuck up, or you can kiss our ass. They called us out, fam. They basically told us we they bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but my mama ain't raised no bitches. My mama didn't raise no punks. I ain't afraid of my government. My government's supposed to be afraid of me. They supposed to be afraid of you, Cease. But they ain't.
The government is supposed to be for the people. But when the big businesses and corporate people have the money to buy out the government, they don't have to answer to the people. They have to answer to the big corporations.
You know what? Like I said, but if I start talking about watering trees, if you understand the reference, I start talking about watering trees, right? I start talking about guillotines. I start talking about the Bastille. Then Brother Black he's on that crazy shit, right? He's advocating that we commit violence. The government basically said they don't care whether you live or die at this point.
Hold on real quick. I want to segue to something real quick.
Go ahead,
I was
fam.
talking in the chat. Now, I've been self-quarantining myself for at least another week or so.
Good on you, C's.
Well, as you do know, working homeless shelter, and I've been talking in the chat, and me and my fiance were just having a talk of, do I need to leave my job? Because in Westwood alone, where I live at, we have 24 cases.
Jesus.
Okay. Springfield, I think we had 5 deaths, and this is Massachusetts, people.
Yeah.
I forgot how many deaths we had in Springfield, but we have 24 cases. We got nurses infected and everything else. So me and my fiance was talking. I said, maybe I need to leave that job till all blows over. We're not hurting really. So right before getting on the show, I was trying to weigh up the pros and cons. Do I stay or do I go? Is the juice worth the squeeze at this point?
Facts. That's a tough question. A lot of us is gonna have to answer, and I know it's hard.
Not just my health.
I know it's hard.
Not just because my fiance, her health is failing. So I was like, well, damn.
Yeah.
Is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it important? So that's what I was just contemplating before I was getting on talking to you. So.
You know what, Cease? This is why before all this stuff came up, I talked to you about some of the things that I'm working on, some of the ideas that I've been working on. Now you see why I see the need for us to build what we need to build. Now you see it, fam.
Yeah.
Because in a situation where we collectively have no rights but the rights we're willing to defend, the rights we're willing to fight and defend and work for, we got to have the infrastructure in place to support that. So it's even more imperative moving forward that ideas such as the one I'm gonna be bringing out when things start to cool down a little bit on the Rona front is even more important for Black folk, because we can't operate the same way we've been operating, fam. We can't continue to pretend to be, wanna be Black capitalists and shit. It ain't working for us. You feel me? So, Cease, I just want you to know, man, that my heart's with you. I know you making that tough decision, fam. It ain't gonna be easy. Hit me up, man. If there's something I can do, I ain't rich, but if there's something I can do to help support you through this shit, you already know you can hit me up, man. And I will do what I can to assist you and your girl through this time. We got to connect with each other. All of us got to be willing to take a hit, It is what it is. This country has no problem with watching us all die. So all bets is off when it comes to supporting our tribe. We got to take care of each other, man.
Real quick, maybe not now, but sometime we can talk in the background of our Discord, me and you and a few others about it. But yeah, like I said, and it's not just me. And by the way, I will say this too: I don't hear nobody else talking about people working at Dollar Tree, Dollar Store, supermarkets, package stores, or any low-paying jobs that you scoff on, because those mofos are risking their lives.
Thank you.
To serve you.
Thank you. I hear that shit from today forward. I hear anybody dissing cashiers, stockmen, janitors. I'm slapping the taste out their mouth, fam. I'm going to jail. I'm telling you off top, I'm going to jail. Because them people are the heroes of this whole damn thing. They ain't getting the choice whether or not to stay in place and be able to be safe. And a lot of them is going to pay with their life for us to have the capability to get what we need. So my hat's off to them. I am beyond grateful for them. You can't say shit about them in front of me. And there not be consequences and repercussions.
Oh yeah, I just I'm seeing all the jokes about the corona, the songs and stuff, and people think it's a joking good time. I'm sick of the entertainment factor in it, not knowing that this is not an epidemic, it's a pandemic.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be real. I didn't take it seriously at first. I'm thinking, we've been through this crap before. War, epidemic, few months of peace. Oh, another war. A constant cycle of fuckery. But now...
This is something completely new.
Let's just say this. If this was The Walking Dead and this was some type of zombie virus, 3/4 of these motherfuckers would have been wiped out already from the stuff I've seen. The videos I've seen at the beach and licking toilets.
Yeah.
I want to live my life. I want to live my best life.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, you remember all them fools on Black Twitter?
Yeah.
When the gas prices started to tank and the flights to go to like Europe and this and the third were like $39 round trips and all this and that, and everybody talking about shit. I'm going to the Louvre. I'm going to, see the Parthenon and this and the third. And then Trump shut the motherfucking travel down from Europe. And now you stuck over in Europe and you can't get home if you got a job, to your peoples. Niggas don't think. There's a brother right now who's over in Ghana who's trapped over there. He can't leave. But we got all these black folk like Boyce Twatkins punk ass, like Roly Poly ass, who's supposed to be kangs and shit. How come they can't use their pool to get that brother home?
Because they never had none. It's just like inflation.
I'm telling you, fam. Exist. I'm telling you, the Rona. See, one of the things I talked to my wife about this today, fam, and I know you're gonna feel me on this one. Crisis moments, fam, takes away your masks, right? All the shit you try to tell us you are when everything is good. When the crisis comes, we get to see who you really are. We get to see what really matters about you. right? Because when it's easy, see, everybody can say whatever they want. They'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm for the fam, and everything's all good. Okay, but now we at the moment of choosing. Because a crisis is a crossroads. No, you can't go in the same direction when you get to a crossroads. You have to make a choice, right? We are at the moment of choosing. And we're going to see a whole lot of people's masks come off. And we're going to know by their fruits who they are. They won't be able to hide it.
Well, everybody can claim to be a soldier until war breaks out.
Yep. It's like I said on my old channel in that video, Everybody Loves the Revolution. I did a video that said everybody loves the revolution until it shows up. Everybody want to talk real good game. Well, choosing time is here, fam. So what you want to do? I can tell you what I want to do. What I want to do is I want to fight. You feel me, Cease? I'm raging against the dying of my light and my people's light.
Yep. And we should not go out on this quiet night.
Yeah, you damn right, fam. I'm not going out with. I'm kicking and dragging and digging my nails in and scraping for every inch for my people. Period. Point blank, the goddamn end. See, so I'm gonna let you have the last word, fam.
Well, like I said all I have to say, but y'all just stay safe out there and do what you got to do.
You do the same, brother. You know I love you, man. You stay safe, stay strong. If there's anything I can do to assist you, man, reach out to me. We're gonna talk soon, all right?
All right, we'll talk, man. I'll talk to you later, man. Thanks.
All right, brother, man. Peace. That's right, Alexis. Rona comes and we get to see all the bullshit. We get to see the lies. All the masks come off, fam. Remember that politician down in Texas who's talking about, well, your grandparents should be willing to sacrifice themselves so that the economy doesn't go in the shitter and destroys the nation? The fuck? Easy for you to say, comfortable white man. You die, your people get instant access to resources. We lose our ancestors. We not only lose a library, but we lose a resource. We don't gain with the deaths of our elders. We lose. Caller from 919, it's your man Mark Black. What's your name, where you calling from, and what's on your mind?
Yeah, this is since I'm here calling from Raleigh.
What's up, fam? Raleigh in the house. How you be, man? What's good with it?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I just want to make this real quick statement. Just talking about the CDC a little bit.
Yeah.
And how we aren't getting anything because they don't ask for anything on our behalf. I think that Richard Nixon did a real good job on black people as far as how he promoted black capitalism without backing it with any type of government support or funding.
Yep.
When the government did this for everybody else.
Yep.
And just because we don't have a specific ask, that's one of the reasons why we aren't getting anything. I looked at the posting that the Congressional Black Caucus Twitter page had for the things that they asked for in this bill, and the only thing they asked for was money for HBCUs and money for quote-unquote minority and women businesses.
Oh, yeah.
And when has either of those terms applied to us?
You'll be waiting for that answer just like I will. It ain't never. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel you, brother.
You know the crazy part about the CBC, what makes them really just such a joke, is when you go and you look at the advocacy, the direct advocacy that the Hispanic caucus is making, that the Hispanic and Asian, Asian and Pacific Islander caucus is making. Them motherfuckers is demanding the moon. You feel me? They are shooting for the moon. Like AOC's like, I want checks to get cut to everybody regardless of where they come from. And she's sitting there in Congress banging on that drum on national TV, waving her hands about and the whole 9 yards. The Black Caucus is a motherfucking joke.
Yep. And they seem like, it's almost like they seem like they have too much pride to ask for stuff on our behalf. And I'm like, what in the hell are y'all there for?
I'm going to tell you something. There's a reason why Hoover, what's the name? Hoover, J. Edgar Hoover. That's it.
J. Edgar Hoover.
Right. There's a reason why J. Edgar Hoover came so hard at black folk during the 50s and the 60s when they were going against the communists in the Soviet Union. And one of the reasons why isn't the reason we think. It wasn't because they thought that we would be communists and work against the government. They came at us because they thought that we would embrace communism, socialism, and being the people we are, we'd find a way to make that shit work.
Yep.
That's the reason, fam. That's the reason. See, we get caught up in the same political bullshit as these white folks, but we can't live like them. The shit that works for them under this current milieu, right, of white supremacy and white domination, the things that they do that benefits them cannot be the things that we do. If they're advocating for capitalism, right, as a economic system, that means that capitalism benefits them. Okay, we already know that white supremacy is going to always advocate for whatever benefits it, right? Fair enough, right? All's fair in love and war. That's what it's all about, okay? So if they're advocating for capitalism, then why are we trying to be black capitalists?
Right.
Exactly. If they're advocating for, anything, right? Like, it doesn't matter what it is. We have to choose something opposite to that. We are already, by the very nature of how this system is set up, they have antipathy, right? They are antithetical to our interests, always. You can guess at whatever you like about America, but one thing you can never guess about America when it comes to us as the descendants, the children of the enslaved here in the United States, you will never go wrong assuming that every American around you that is not us has antipathy toward us and works antithetically to our interests. You don't even have to guess at that. That should be a given, okay? Now, if that's the given, fam, are you following me so far?
I'm following.
If that's the given, then that means that anything that they wholeheartedly embrace, right? Anything that they wholeheartedly want to support, to see happen, to see grow, and this, that, and the third, that means that thing is automatically antithetical to our interests, right? We shouldn't even have to guess that capitalism for black people don't work right. That's not saying that capitalism bad, but it's saying that if they're embracing it, it's never going to fucking be in our interest to embrace it. Never.
Yep. And then when you look at how they actually do it, they trumpet capitalism. And when things are going well, yeah, they love capitalism. But now in the era of Corona, like you say, now they want to practice socialism for their businesses.
Oh, strangely
they
enough,
want to get all the
Strangely enough, that word is not even being dismissed no more. Look, first of all, they can't dismiss it because it's very clear that what they're doing for business in this country is nothing but naked socialism. They're not playing die-hard, rugged individualist capitalists with these businesses. Ain't nobody in government telling Boeing, well, shit, you had a good run. Good luck. Maybe we'll see you on the go around. Ain't nobody doing that.
Nope.
They're running to Boeing. What do you need, brother? What do you need? Power to the, artificial people. Right? It's straight up fucking socialism. But then they turn to you and I and they tell us capitalism is the way. We don't want you sucking off the government teat. We don't want to give you more, unemployment than you might get working a job. That a bitch.
Yep.
Nah, fam. If this country advocates for anything, if it supports anything, it is clear, at least to your brother. I'm not gonna sit here and claim to be an expert of anything, right? But in my humble opinion, if this country, this government advocates for anything, it is automatically antithetical to our interests and from a place of antipathy toward us directly. Always. You don't have to guess at that. Not after 400 years. You should never have to guess at that. That should never even be a thought that's in anybody's head who's us, right? Who are a member of our tribe. When you think about America, and I'm not saying to shit on America, this is our home, right? My ancestors' bones and blood is buried here. I'm not going no motherfucking where, okay? This is mine. But we need to understand the dynamic, right, that operates where we are in our home. And in our home, we already know that anybody who is not our tribe, who does not share our lineage, you would never go wrong. Not saying you won't be wrong, but you will never go wrong believing that they have antipathy towards you and are antithetical to your interests. That's all you need. Those two ideas alone, along with claiming our name, right? Claiming our lineage. Those are the only ideas you need to know exactly what we should be thinking about doing next. If capitalism worked for them, then we need to be looking at everything but. We need fewer households, larger families. We need to have multiple generations of Black people living and working together. We need to go back to being people of the land. They want everybody to industrialize. They're talking about the fourth industrial revolution and the Internet of Things and all of that. If they're advocating that, that's not a path for us. That's not to say you shouldn't want to learn about that stuff. I'm not saying don't be up on tech, right? Don't be up on these things. But I'm saying that whatever they're advocating for, they've already found a way to make sure we can't take that path, not effectively, right? So we have to look for different paths to walk. And these are the conversations, genuine conversations we really need to be having with each other, right? We need to be talking about developing real communities, not conglomerations of us living in the same, geographical area. No, I mean where we intentionally, consciously, with forethought, right, put together the means and the mechanisms to acquire actual land bases. And when we interact with each other, we can't be interacting with each other from basis of capitalism. Capitalism don't work for us. Right? We need to be thinking more on the social tip or communist tip or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't care, but we need to be operating together.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
We're going to have to if we're going to survive this.
Yeah, we're going to have to if we're going to survive. You live in a country where everybody is antithetical to your interests. If you try to play their game, you're dead. Right? The lone wolf dies, fam, but the pack survives.
Right.
You feel me? So we got to look. The corona changes everything. The conversations we need to have need to change. We need to change how we raising children. We need to change our interactions with each other. We even need to change the definition of what we consider family. That's how deep this shit really is. But this is how basic we need to go in order to be able to survive what we gotta face. That's gotta happen.
I think a lot of people are scared to figure out what we need to do. They don't want to look past what's going on in their daily lives and look at what's going on in the world to see how all this stuff is affecting us. I think a lot of people are really scared of that, Mark.
You know, one of the good things about a lot of us having to be shut down, locked down, stay in place is that at the very least, we should have some time to think. You know, a lot of black folk ain't really ever had to face the reality of our circumstances as a tribe. We've always had external shit that we could focus on, you know, our aspirations, our goals are trying to, you know, imitate white capitalists and, you know, become stars and be influencers and all that. We've had all these dreams and these goals, which are all great. You know, I'm not knocking, but we've had all these external foci that we could look at to avoid the one thing that we as a people, as a tribe need to do, and that is to go inward. But now, we ain't got no choice. We have to go inward to find a solution that we can direct outward. And that's something we're out of practice doing. That's something that we're fearful of doing, but it's the one thing that will save us when nothing else will. And so the question then becomes, brother, and I'm certain you'll understand this, the question then comes, what do you want? What do we want? Native Black Americans, ADOS, right? DOAS. What do we want? FBA. What do we want? What dreams are we going to finally summon up the courage enough to dream and then go after? Because that's the only thing that's going to save us, fam.
Yep. And like I keep telling my wife, we gotta have something has to be left for our kids, man. We can't just be out here bringing it.
Yep. I'm ready to start planting trees under whose shade I'll never sit. I'm ready to dream the impossible motherfucking dreams. And I'm ready to fight for them shits too. I ain't no more talking. Like once we get together and we come up with our needs, our dreams as a tribe, we can't take no shorts. We can't be afraid of no man, no situation. No situation. We have to be all in. Because look, fam, the crazy part ultimately is that we're all gonna die anyway, right? Life is the one thing that nobody escapes alive. Right? You know, the older you get, your life expectancy tends towards zero. So if we all gotta go, why we gotta go based off of what them motherfuckers is talking about? Like, why we gotta go based off of the trick bag they trying to put us in?
Right.
If we gotta go, why not going for what we want, what we need, as opposed to what they're demanding that we accept? I'm not America's bitch. My ancestors didn't have me to be America's bitch.
And that's going to be the only way out of this.
You feel me? I know I feel you, fam. So hey, man, I want to say I appreciate your contribution to the broadcast. Make sure you stay around, you know, support us, watch the videos. If you have questions, concerns, reach out to me. And fam, be safe. You know what I'm saying? I need to see you on the other side. We need every warrior we can get.
All right, brother. Love your work, man. Take it easy.
Thank you. Take it easy, fam. What do you want, fam? The question still remains. In the era of the Rona, when everything is in flux, when everything is up for grabs, when behold, all things are become new, what the hell do you want? Caller from 301, it's your man Mark Black. What's your name, where you calling from, and what's on your mind?
This is Senior Elder.
Brother Elder Richard. Fam, it is so good to hear your voice, man. I'm glad to hear from you. How are you doing, man? How you hanging?
I'm hanging strong, my brother. It's good to see you in good spirits.
Thank you,
And
brother.
see that
You know me. I
see
gotta bring it.
see that you're hanging strong also.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What you got for us tonight? Give us some wisdom, fam. We sure could use it.
Okay. Well, when you look at China, China is the people republic of China. So when the centralized government decides they're gonna do something, they don't have 50. They don't have 50 states, to really deal with. So that's the reason China able to get. They got the collective.
Yeah.
It's all. It's all hands on deck. Once that centralized government decides it's gonna do something, you know, they're gonna go on and do it.
Yep.
I see. I support. I'm of the same spirit or the same attitude or position as you are. This is the time for us to become more of a collective than ever.
Yep.
We got to become more collective than ever, and we got to see the Black Caucus. I don't know, even Clyburn or whoever the head of the Black Caucus, they are allowing Schumer and Pelosi and all of them to dictate things for them. We really don't have a voice up there in the Black Caucus that gets out and says, well, this is really not a stimulus. This is just maintaining the system of putting people further in debt than they were, because $1,200 is not going to maintain anybody. It's not going to maintain a family or anybody. It's just, and then you allow what you will see now. What I keep getting a lot of emails and things from now is all these banks and all these institutions trying to get you to borrow money.
Yep.
In other words, they getting free money. They getting free money,
but they want you to borrow it.
And they want you to borrow it, even if you get money from them for 1-2% and so forth, they still gonna come out ahead on it. So we don't have anybody really up there to really advocate for our cause and so forth.
Yep.
I think that the Black Caucus would do itself some justice to go to economists, like when that package would come up. They should go to people they should defer to people like Darity or some of the leading black economists or some of the ADOS economists they should make sure that they can get on the media and so forth and boards, and say, this is what we are advocating for our people for. This is what we're advocating for ADOS for. But they just have relinquished, or they have given up their voice and so forth for Pelosi, Schumer, McConnell, and so forth. You didn't hear anybody up on Capitol Hill talking about this package and so forth. So we really don't have any leadership like we once had, voice like we had, like when we had Paul Robeson, even Du Bois and Malcolm and Dr. King and so forth. We really don't, as a people, we lacking a voice that is relevant, or a voice that is really getting out to the people and giving us some type of direction or giving us some type of vision, So we're really lacking that. We really need that badly.
I agree, fam. The thing is that part of the reason why the Black Caucus is defunct, right? They're not even useless. They're dead, essentially, for us, for any intention purposes. They are defunct. And the reason why they are defunct, brother, is because half of them that is of our lineage won't claim the name, and the other half aren't our lineage. Right? Sheila Jackson Lee is a child of immigrants. You've got other congressional people that are children of immigrants. They're not necessarily understand our needs or what our interests are. And those of us who are a member of the Black Caucus that do share our lineage don't claim it. They don't claim the name. So for them, it's just business as usual. They basically trying to be black white people.
Yes.
That's the
Yes,
reason. That's the
you're
reason why
right
we
on.
have no advocacy, because we have literally no bodies in office.
Right,
They are
right,
defunct. They carry a name that's supposed to be associated with us. But when it comes
right,
to what their interests are, the Black Caucus is just simply defunct. It does not
right,
exist. We have no bodies. Like, not nobody, no bodies. We have no
yes,
people there that both claim our name, right? That both speak with the voice of us and our ancestors and our lineage,
right,
and they don't
right.
understand what our interests actually are. So,
Hmm.
because of that, it's really kind of useless for us to expect any advocacy from them, right? Like, at this particular
Right,
point,
yes,
whenever I hear the Black Caucus open its mouth in any media outlet, I expect to hear more white supremacy. That's it. I don't
right,
expect anything else. I don't look to them for leadership. I don't look to them for
right,
advocacy. I know, fam, for a fact that
right,
they are not us. Even the people that
right,
could be, that share our
right,
heritage and lineage, they won't claim the name. And thus they
right,
will not advocate for us because they don't see
yes,
themselves as us. And the rest of them
right,
aren't us.
right.
Case closed.
Yeah, so it's so the thrust of the forces got to come from the people.
That's
The
right.
people, the people have got to decide whom they want to be the voice and everything. A voice will come. I just strongly believe that, and what my experience is that when the voice comes, it's as though to understand the dynamics that come with it, comes a vision comes with it.
But
You
brother
know,
Elder,
a
hold on a
bit.
second, because I actually see you as a voice. I see every member of the angry black sheep herd as a voice. We are
Right,
fortunate in this day and time with this new understanding that was presented to us by our beloved sister Yvette Carnell of lineage matters, right? This new
right,
message, this new lens allows any
right,
one of us to step up and be the voice, because that claiming the name creates a connection to our
right,
ancestors in a way we never had before. It allows us through our voice to give our ancestors second life so that we don't necessarily have to wait for a particular voice to stand up. Because if you claim the name, right, and you
right,
accept what this lineage, this heritage provides you, the
mm,
advocacy is automatic. You don't have to think about it. You know exactly, based off of our history, based off of what we faced, based off of the crucible that our people have gone through. You know exactly what it is that we need. You know exactly what our demands are. Brother Richard, you are the savior we've been waiting for, fam.
right. But as I said, yes, I'm a voice. I'm a voice, and I'm a spirit. I'm a dynamic, and I'm a dynamic force myself. So I realize that, and I do what I do within the environment that I live and with the
Yep,
people that I meet and so forth. I advocate for our people.
you
For
damn
ADOS,
right. And
I
we and
advocate.
guess what? We
I
back
advocate.
you. We back you,
Yes,
fam.
I
Ain't
advocate.
ain't nobody gonna you ain't gonna never have to worry about not having a home where you can come and recharge your batteries to continue being our voice. Ain't nobody in this
Right,
chat, ain't nobody of our heritage or our lineage gonna have to worry about not having a place to stand under the sun. This new understanding gives us a power we've never had. We can buttress each other, even if we don't agree on everything. Brother Richard, how many times you and
right.
I done had conversations where we ain't agreed on everything, but when we hang up the phone, there's still
Yeah,
love, there's still understanding,
yeah.
there's still clear advocacy.
Yes, it's still here.
You
It's still
damn
here.
right.
It's still here. You're still here, and that's powerful. That's powerful to know that when I lie down at night and when I wake up in the morning, that spirit or that collective spirit is there, and it's it's a food. It's a food for the spirit. It's a food in
Yes,
itself.
sir.
It's a motivation. It's a drive. It's
Exactly.
a
It's what
nourishment and
sustains
so
us.
forth.
It's what sustains
Yeah,
us, fam. It's what that
yeah,
understanding right there, fam, is what's going to carry our people through the Rona. We're going to lose
yeah,
some along the way, and may they rest with our ancestors in peace and
yeah.
power, right? But bury the
Right.
man and continue the motherfucking plan. Our justice claim is it. All.
Yes,
That's
yes,
it.
yes,
Period.
yes. Because this as the scripture said, this too will pass.
Yep.
I don't believe that 40 million of us will be wiped out.
Nope.
We still gonna have some people left after this is over with. So we still got to keep, like you said, bury the man and continue to plan. As Dr. John Henry Clark said,
Yep.
And I just don't understand why leaders, they should be outraged. What I was thinking about when that person, I don't know what his position, was down there talking about, that the elders should be sacrificed. It should have been outrage came against him and so forth. We don't sacrifice our elders.
Mm-mm.
We don't sacrifice our elders for the youth.
Mm-mm.
China wasn't talking about sacrificing anybody. They didn't sacrifice anybody. Nobody else is talking about sacrificing anybody. If he wants to sacrifice himself, let him go and get a gun and blow his head, blow his brains out.
Thank you. If
Blow
like I
his
said,
brains out.
fam, if they want to open up the country and they believe there should be business as usual, cool. You
Yeah,
go first.
right. Go
Don't
on and
tell
blow your
me,
brains out.
show me.
Yes. You think the economy is that important and so forth. You for the First Amendment rights, and I know you got about. I know that they showed the line where people were lining up buying weapons and so
Yep.
forth during this time and so forth. I know he got a collection of weapons. All he had to do is go on and play Russian roulette the way he can't lose. Just blow his brains out, and then he can make an example. He can make an example when he write his epitaph and so forth. He can say, "I sacrificed my life for
For the
the youth,
American economy.
for the American economy."
Yep,
And
show
then,
me.
yeah. We from Missouri, aren't we?
You already know, brother Elder. You already know. Don't tell me. Show me.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
ready
Gonna
to
blow
die
your
for the
brains
American
out.
economy? I needs to see that.
Yeah. He said if it was a choice between him and his child or his grandchild, he said just go and give it to my. No, you make it one less. You make it one person less that we have to worry about getting a ventilator anyway. Just go just go and blow your brains out.
Yes, sir.
We can say that's one less we got to worry about.
Yes, sir. Don't talk about it. Be about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Shit.
I'm not gonna hold you long, my brother. But
No, you good, fam.
Keep the spirit up, my brother.
Hey,
Keep
you
the
stay
spirit
up, brother
brother.
Elder. Like I said, we need every warrior we can get on the other side. So it's an order. I order you to live through this shit. That's an order, fam.
Okay, my brother. Okay.
Love you, brother.
You
Peace.
be strong now.
I will now.
You be strong and keep advocating the way you are, my brother.
Yes, sir. I will, brother. Thank you. Peace. Yeah. Brother Elder and I, we from the Mo. Don't tell us. Show us. You talking about we should sacrifice our elders to keep the American economy strong. I need you to be your ass out in front. President Trump, Tangerine King, Imperator Trump, the first of his name. If you ever watch this video, brother, I'm telling you that you need to show us. I need to see you on somebody's assembly line somewhere with no PPE because everything's good, right? I need you to go out there and be willing to die for this motherfucking economy. Because I can tell you right now that your man Mark Black and anybody that I can influence will be damned. I was born during the day, but I wasn't born yesterday. America ain't never had no economy it was worth me dying for. Shit. Ain't worth. Matter of fact, truth be told, fam, this is real talk. Right? You know my primary advocacy is for us. But let's talk real talk. I don't wish this on no American. Right? I don't wish this on none of our countrymen and women. I read a tweet, fam, of a little 12-year-old boy. His father tweeted, white man, Jew as a matter of fact. Well, so-called Jew. But he tweeted, he said, my son told me, he said, Dad, one good thing about us being out of school is that there won't be any more school shootings for a while. That awkward moment when the little white kids realize the fuckery. Fam, this is about us. True. Us first and foremost and primary. But we are a part of a nation. There are those who talk about we need to, have our own nation. Make it. Okay, then explain to me how we make it. Explain to me how we segregate an economy away from white folks. Explain to me how we separate everything from white folks. If you can give me a full breakdown of how we're able to completely separate, we can talk about it. But we've been intermingled since the beginning of this motherfucker. From 1776 forward, it's been white folks and black folk. And every so often we invite other motherfuckers in and we make them, a little bit white or we make them a little bit black for a while. But in the United States, there's been two. Black people and white people. Truth be told, whites getting fucked just like we getting fucked. And we tried to tell them that, hey, y'all keep selling us out for the little crumbs that the oligarchs, the plantation class throws you with that little bit of taste of whiteness. So your three-tooth having, cousin fucking inbred, dirt farming, hookworm having, cracker ass can lay down at night and say, oh, well, at least I ain't one of them damn niggers. You feel me? Calling from 903, it's your man Mark Black. What's your name? What you call? Oh, it's Brother Black Man. Holla at us, fam.
Hey, sir, how you doing?
Hey, I'm all right, fam. Good to hear your voice, man. What's good?
I'm not sure, but my thought, my thinking, right?
Yep.
Is that for the most part, oh my gosh, it's hard to say.
Take your time, fam. You already know the floor yours.
Right. I see so many comments that are so intelligent, right? The coalition has to be real, I would think, from inside the chat. I see so many ideas and so many comments, so many, on point stuff, I don't care about going outside.
Well, no, I hear you, fam.
Outside, taking care of the property, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows I live on 5 acres, the whole nine. But what my thought today was that the virus that we think about and know about, right? And a guy can go in a Walmart and look on something, right? And it'd be okay. That was just funny, ha ha ha. But a black man walking across the street to jaywalks, which he really didn't, but we're being shut down and put in jail for that. But the white boy gets being a kid. He's funny. Oh, that's just a joke. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. He's this, that, the other. This America is thriving to fight us, right? Without fighting the virus at this point, to me. If you were saying earlier today, you will let somebody come in and who has a virus. Let's because, you know, the pandemic from my point of view looked like this. We let people who ate, you said it earlier, what, 1-2s or something, some kind of item, or animals people. You eat them, oh, it's a delicacy, it makes your dick strong and all this kind of stuff like that and this, that, and the other. And then you can go to America, Australia, Europe, anywhere else. It's crazy to me. But I'm always called a sycophant, a homophobe, and so on and so forth. My cousins even told me one time. I made myself, or they made themselves into the person I met. They made themselves into a woman. Ain't she cute? When you want to be with her? Do the dude first. Why would I want to be with a dude first? I don't know. No, you should have looked up. No, I don't want that. No, I want something that was made by God to be with God. No, I don't want that. Why would I want? Yeah, so why? So the same thing we're going through here is something that's going to be very hard to deal with.
Yeah.
Because they told you not to say anything about the Chinese people. But Chinese people can sit there and say, you don't need affirmative action.
Yep.
You're cutting us out. You're taking away from us. But you weren't even born here. You weren't made here. You ain't been here for 400 years. Lineage has means something at this point in time. And I hope and pray, I really do, that we take the opportunity to make this happen. I really do. And you know what? Jesus. Mark, I know you got to go, but my head is hurting. I've heard so much tonight. I've heard enough tonight.
I know
that this show deserves more sponsorship and more ratings and people than what you have tonight. I know it does.
You know, fam, from your lips, right? Like, I constantly, and it's not for ego. I don't have no ego wrapped up in this shit. I don't care if I make millions or anything like that. But from your lips, man, I constantly want my people to just hear what I got to say, right? That's the thing I live for. That's the thing I dream about, is that there will be enough people who will say, damn, you know, Brother Black is on something. Let me hear what he got to say, right? Like, you don't have to agree with me on everything. And if you don't, peace to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still going to back your play where I'm able. You see it, Black man, on Twitter, right? You've heard me critique, Sister Yvette, but Sister Yvette is still my people's. That's still my tribeswoman, which means that she get grace, which means that she get respect. She get understanding. I don't have to know why she thinks the way she thinks on some shit, or why she plans the strategy she plans on certain things. I don't even have to agree on the strength that we are peoples. That's all I need to know. And we need to get to that point to where, regardless of whether we agree or disagree, regardless of whether we see it now or we'll see it later, that every voice among our people is worth at least giving a damn listening to. You feel me?
Yeah, that's my whole point. Mark, I know I said this a million times before, and I said that in the chat before, I said something earlier. But my point has been saying to y'all, don't believe the hype, because I can remember, oh my gosh, forget it. I can't remember, but I can tell you this for a fact, right? I know when I used to go to Walmart, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm 50 now, but in my 30s and my 20s, I would go to Walmart, right? And you buy a box of rounds, right? For 22 shells, 22. And they'd be $5.50 per box.
Mm-hmm.
But 550 shells were really, really cheap, right? So you buy 2 boxes, right? So you have over 1,000 rounds.
Yep.
And then somebody would do a mass shooting. Oh my gosh, he had over 1,000 rounds. But I had 122, how many 410 shells, how many 12s, how many 45s, how many, whatever else he had in the kitty. My point would be the overrating of what you would do to a person like me. To sit there and say, he had over 1,000 rounds, though. But they selling like that, though. That's the package. You buy more,
Man,
your bulk price is better.
Fam, leave it to America to find a way to make it sound as legal as fuck for a black man to do something that's been legal for everybody else to do forever in a month of Sundays, right? Like you said, I got a brick of 22 long rifle in there in my room right now, right? I was only able to get a brick. I need to go when shit cools down and stock up on some more ammo, right? But I got a brick in there right now. If I was to shoot one round out my deck right here and the police show up, when they come to report it, they're going to report he had hundreds of rounds of 40 caliber ammo and hundreds of rounds of 22 ammo like I'm some mass terrorist or some shit.
It goes whole back to this thing right here. We are being tricked into thinking that everything is okay right now. And it's really not, I don't think.
Fam, no. I wish that were true. I wish that were true, that they was trying to trick us. Man, they done got so goddamn in your face with it that the United States government on Friday literally took the American people, lined them up in a row, took down trial, grabbed Day Johnson, and just slapped us all across the face with that motherfucker. They're not even bothering to hide it.
But so many of us are not believing that, though. That's the part that bothers me, because I've been in this house I told you before, it ain't no big deal for me to stay in the house. I don't care. I'll shoot something in the woods, bring it back home, cook it, grill it, eat it.
Facts.
I ain't been around nobody, right? This is bigger than I think we are thinking.
Oh yeah.
It's not cool to go to Walmart. I just got to go get some salt. Well, if salt is the only thing you need, you have one item to need, and you can't stay in the house, you're not disciplined. We have to be more disciplined.
I agree. I've been telling everybody in my household, right? Because, we all grown up in here, right? So I can't necessarily dictate things. But I've been telling everybody, and some of us hear it better than others do. But I've been telling everybody that every time you walk out that door, roll the dice. Roll the dice. Pick which one of us you comfortable with seeing die. Because you might bring back something that will take one of us out the box. Now, if you think it's worth that risk to walk out that door, then make that walk. But if you don't think it's worth it, you need to stay your ass in the house.
Let me tell you this right now. I made a butt roast. I made, what do you call them, potatoes that were fried, and rice with hot wings, right?
Dinner over at Black Man House in 3, 2. No, I'm just kidding, y'all. I'm kidding. Y'all better stay in place. See, that was a test.
No, I'm serious, though. But you know what they did? They still went out and went to McDonald's. Even though I made all this food in here, they still went out and went to McDonald's. But I can't say nothing because you're just being mean. You're just what do you call it? What do you call it?
Yeah, you just being a chauvinist. You being what's it? You just trying to stop us from having a life.
Yeah, from my life and all that kind of. What the hell? Because y'all know I'm sick, right? Y'all know I have I'm a disabled vet and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So my immunity system is not going to be as great as y'all's.
Yep.
But I have my own family members saying, I'm going to go out and give me some McDonald's. I want some what do you call it? McNuggets. Right? What do you call things?
No, you said it right, fam. I'm laughing because I can tell you don't eat that shit. You can't even pronounce the name of a McNugget.
No. Yeah, they eat all that stuff. I'm not fooling with that. I go for that natural look. I really do.
You know
Y'all
what though,
know?
fam? Like I said though earlier, and I know you feel me on this one, right? It's in the
Yeah.
crises, in the crisis points where the masks are removed. That's not just for the United States government or for our fellow citizens. People that are close to you, right? Who in times when it's
Yeah,
good
they
will
work
tell you
to
that
you.
they
The
love
people
you
who are
and
close to
that
you,
they
the
support
people
you.
who
And
are close to you will do the worst to you. Period. I don't care what nobody says. The people who are close to you do the worst to you. Period.
they can.
That's
That's damn straight. And see,
that's
here's the
what it is.
thing. I've recommended to my brothers especially, right? And I'm gonna share this with you. It's time for you, black man, and I, to stop giving a fuck about what everybody think about us, right? The
It's
fact is,
hard.
the
It is
fact I
so
know,
hard.
fam, I know, but the path less traveled is always hard, fam. When you the trailblazer, it's never going to be easy. But let me explain to you why I'm saying this. Because here we are at this strange place amongst the history of our people where
Right.
we have seen generations of Big Mama and the matriarchs have control over our community, how we operate, how we're raised, how we engage with each other, and this, that, and the third. And we can see, especially in light of the Rona, when the masks come off, the obvious failures of that having been the case. This is no shade. This is just analysis, right? Now, with that having been said, we have to make some hard choices. And I believe one of those hard choices that are going to have to be made, especially by the brothers at this particular point, is
Right.
who's going to lead forward, moving forward, right?
No, you gotta follow me.
Yeah,
Especially, no, a woman gotta follow me.
yeah.
I'm not gonna
Like,
be
I
led by
mean,
her. No, 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 no.
I'm
And
keeping it a
this
full
no,
on ass
oh, hold
buck.
on, hold on. Hold on. This no disrespect to Alexis and Miss Dreams and any other woman in chat, but I got what I got, and I know what I'm doing. So no, I'm not gonna. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna be the one that's. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No,
Nope.
no, no. We know which one I'm gonna just say. It's gonna be held by me. It's not gonna be held by you. Oh well.
No,
I
I
don't.
feel,
You're not a
fam.
peasant to
Don't
me.
see.
You're
That's what
still
I'm
my
saying.
queen.
Don't be
I'm a
ashamed of
king. You're a
that.
queen. Let's get it together. I'll listen to your information, but at the end of the day, your information will be very, very important to me. But at the end of the day, what I do is what you're gonna follow with me on.
Facts.
No point in it.
Facts.
That's all I'm saying. And I swear, that my cousins, my aunties, I told you my aunt earlier.
Hmm?
I ain't missed church in 35 years. I ain't gonna miss no church tomorrow. I said, but damn, aunt, but you can be risking yourself from somebody who went to work at such and such a place, or went to shopping at such and such a place, or went to whatever, and you're willing to risk that for somebody you ain't ever met? You meet me every Saturday or Sunday for dinner or for Thanksgiving or Christmas, but you're sitting there telling me you ain't worth that to me because I gotta keep my God.
I'm
I
gonna
gotta get
tell
my
you,
God
fam.
on.
I'm gonna tell you, not everybody gonna make it to the other side, and it ain't because I don't want to see everybody make it to the other side. But there's a saying that I use all the time, fam. You play stupid games, you win stupid
Yeah,
prizes, right?
that's
If
what
you,
I'm saying. I'm trying, but when you get people in they freaking 70s and 80s, you can't talk to them no more because you're my because they think of you, being me. I'm 50 and she's 30 years older.
yeah, she thinking you
I
is
am
the
not
child.
here. Yeah. Oh well, I'm always gonna be that.
But you know
Yeah.
what? See, fam.
That's
I'm a
the
firm
hardest
believer.
argument ever.
Black man, I'm a firm believer in letting people pay the consequences for their thoughts. There's a reason why I don't tend to argue with folk. Number one, I don't believe in arguing with people that know they right. Right? If you absolutely know that you're spot on, we can't have a discussion. What's there to discuss? Right? If you just know that your way is the way, There ain't shit for us to talk about. So I'm not going to argue with people that know they right. Second of all, if you strong enough to make a choice, you strong enough to pay the consequences for that choice. I raised my children that way, fam. This ain't something that I just decide to do with just random ass people. No, my own flesh and blood seed from the time they was able to talk, to speak, were presented with choices, and they had to make those choices, and then they had to stand on the consequences of those choices, good or bad. Now, if it was life-threatening, I protect them. Why? Because I'm daddy. That's my job. But short of it being life-threatening, I let them face the consequences of every choice they made. My son want to go out and play with bottles, and I told him, if you play with bottles and one shatters, it's likely to cut you. And he come back with cuts on his hand, I'm gonna be like, what you want from me? Let's get you bandaged up. That's what you get. I told you what the situation is, what the consequences are, and allowed you to make the choice. Now you sitting here with a cut finger, don't come crying to me. Don't come complaining to me. You chose that. So now that he's older and he's comfortable with making choices, he think twice and choose once. There's an old saying in carpentry, measure twice and cut once, right? Because you don't want to fuck up on your initial measurement thinking you got it, and then your whole shit that you built is off kilter. You see what I'm saying? We need to start letting people pay the consequences for their choices. I ain't shaming nobody. I'm not going to sit here and be like, see, you put my life at risk and this. They know that. Yeah. So if they make that choice and those consequences come, don't come crying to me. Don't say shit to me. I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it. If you make a choice, stand on that. That's how you're gonna have to be, brother, for your peace of mind, black man. Because like I said, I know where you at, fam. You know, you and I have talked many a time. I feel like you my brother from another mother. I know where you at, fam. For your peace of mind, right? For your ability to stay focused, to be able to stay agile, to be able to make the decisions you need to make. You need to be willing to allow even the ones you love the most to stand on the consequences of their decisions. Protect yourself. Wash your hands. The motherfuckers get to hacking and coughing and shit. Stay the fuck away from them, right? Do the needful for you. But if they want to play games, they want to play life games with the Rona have been rolling the dice on a whole lot of motherfuckers. There's a whole lot of people that done had to leave all the chips on the table. So if you think you immune to losing the whole bankroll, go ahead and roll the dice against Rona. She don't give a fuck.
No, because we live in a town of greater than 5,000 people. Mm-hmm. You know, our town is small.
Yeah.
So if we want to here, and as many people, you know, is in here, and touching and seeing and not staying distances, it's over.
Facts. Facts.
They said the town could be wiped out. You know, you have a ghost town after that. You know, you remember what do you call that? The storms in Oklahoma, the storms.
Yeah.
The same thing. It's not dust. It's a disease. It's a virus.
Yep.
It's a killer machine that's fighting through your nation, and y'all, I want to go party. I want to go have a Corona.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go have a party. Y'all are kidding me at this point. It's just a joke.
Yep. But you know what, though?
I'm not trying to be mean to anyone.
Nah, brother, you gonna have to. Sorry. But people's feelings gonna have to get hurt. If I hurt your feelings, but it saved your life, I consider that a win. If I say, black man, you a stupid motherfucker and you need to tighten up, or else you gonna end up getting dealt with, and your life is saved, brother, I consider that a win. I don't give a fuck. I can always heal the breach later. I can always come to you and say, fam, I'm sorry I had to come at you like that. You know what I'm saying? It's blase skippy. I can do that, right? But if this is an emergency,
I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you today. Y'all know I live in the country. I live on 5 acres or whatever. My neighbor over there on the other side, she got 277 or 280 acres on the other side, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to the mailbox, and she's seen me. She's white. And she said, "Hey, how you doing today?" And she came and hugged me. What the fuck?
Yeah, like, give me my 6 feet, motherfucker.
Oh, my God, dog.
Oh, man, fam, let me tell you. My family's been getting that, right? My peoples, the ones I live with, every so often I get itchy and they get a little too close. I'm like, y'all, social distancing. Give me my 6 feet. And I live with these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have every right to protect and defend yourself. You see what I'm saying? And the thing is that it's like I said, a lot of people ain't gonna catch it until they've been touched. Until they done seen a family member who they can't have a funeral for because they're not allowed to congregate in groups more than 10, right? Until they having somebody that end up being in the hospital in quarantine that they can't go visit even up until they die, right? Until it actually touched them, a lot of motherfuckers just ain't gonna get it, fam. But for those of us who have eyes, and those of us who have ears, right? Eyes to see and ears to hear with, act accordingly. That's how it's gotta be.
But listen to it. Right after that, right? After she hugged me, she had her dog in the car, right? And she sat between the front seat and you know how you had a what do you call it? Explorer. Her dog kissed her in the mouth, licking for like seconds, like 8 seconds, licking in the mouth.
You better than me, fam. That's all I can say.
Man,
you, sir,
like,
are a gentleman. Okay? I'll be damned.
Stop.
I'll be damned.
But she did it though. Hygiene.
God damn. No.
We were talking about that, right? Yeah, she did it.
Fam.
No question about it.
Fam,
she hugged me.
No.
And then 10 seconds later, she laid back, you know how you lay back on your car between the first window and the second window, right?
Right.
And her dog was licking her mouth. A pretty pit bull.
No.
She's gorgeous. No question. But you're not going to kiss me in my mouth.
Nope.
But she was like, oh. But she had dementia and all. Oh, my gosh.
Black man, look, fam, I can't fix every one of your problems, and I'm not going to try, but what I can say is this one should be easy. That motherfucker needs social distancing. 6 motherfucking feet at a minimum. At a minimum. Fam. Fam.
All right, y'all. Oh, you killed me, man. Hey, I appreciate the content.
Nah, man, I appreciate
I
you.
do what I do on the low. But I wish if there was any time in my life, and I'm 50, right? You're younger than me. But I wish that at any time in my life, how they used to have the programs where you was with a teacher from 1st to 12th grade?
Yeah.
I wish it could have been that dude, but just older than me. I really do. No question about it. So for everybody else, I'll sit there saying thank y'all. Keep listening. Keep paying.
Thank you, fam. I appreciate you, man. Peace.
No.
Oh, shit. Sorry. I didn't mean to hang up on you, fam. My bad. Damn. Okay, it was an accident. Hey, fam. The thing is this. Like I said, this is a new place, right? A new world. All things will become new in the era of the Rona, right? This is our generation's reboot. Okay? And I need y'all to treat it as such, right? With the dignity, with the importance that it deserves. I need you to social distance. I need you to stay in place, not because I'm trying to squelch your life, not because I'm trying to hinder you from living your best life, but because I want you to have a life when this is done, fam. I need you to do that. I'm doing it for you. Fam, I'm doing it for you. I'm assuming that I'm sick already and I just ain't showed no symptoms. So I can protect you. I need you to do that for me, right? We need to start having some real, true discussions on what world we want to see on the other side of this thing. The beautiful thing about America having put our people where we are is that we're essentially in an area where we're free, right? They think they've confined us, but what they've done is they freed us. They don't pay much attention to what them Negroes is talking about, right? So they want to talk about hurry back up so we can boot the economy and all this and that and the third. We don't even need to be on that shit. We can be talking about something else. We could talk about land bases. We could talk about building intentional, conscious, with forethought, real fucking communities where we're taking care of our needs in-house. We ain't trading money back and forth. We trading each other's labor, each other's protection, where we don't have a bunch of different families make up a community, but one family. We don't need a whole gang of families. We need fewer families, but we need a lot more motherfuckers in them families. Why do you think I call you fam? Because I see all of you as related to me. We need to put that action in the making. Start dreaming the impossible dream, fam. It's that time. Rona done gave us the space. What you gonna do with it? What you gonna do with it? Fam, I want to thank all of you as usual. Black man really got me going because, fam, I do this for y'all. Everything I'm doing as far as research, advocacy, all of it is for you, right? I don't hold back nothing for myself. I don't want nothing for myself. I want to see us get our due. I want my ancestors through me to be able to finally hold their head up proud. That's what I fight for. I fight for you. And I'm going to keep doing it until I ain't got no breath left in me. So, fam, do the needful. Because we need you on the other side of this shit. We need every single one of us. Some of us ain't going to make it. Like Black Man told you, some of us playing motherfucking games. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Rona is no respecter of persons. Rona will take the rich. Rona will take the poor. Rona will take the white. Rona will take the black. Rona will take the motherfucking smart. Rona will take the stupid. Rona don't care. So how do you defeat an enemy that don't give a fuck how they beat you? This is an object lesson for us as the descendants of the enslaved here in the United States. The question, how do we defeat an enemy that doesn't give a fuck how they beat us? We start answering that question, fam, we're going to be getting somewhere. So, fam, thank you all. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I hope that y'all stay safe. I want to see y'all the next broadcast. You know what I'm saying? Make sure to share this one, smash the thumbs, either the like or the hater. There's always at least one hater, and I appreciate you. I need my haters, right? And if you haven't become an angry black sheep, join the herd. Right? We need all these good outcast minds, the ones that don't think the same as everybody else. Right? Because we the saviors we've been waiting for. And fam, until next time, as always, I want to leave you with wishes of love, peace, prosperity, and power. Real power to our people.